Hello there, welcome to Conflict News 2042. Continuing our coverage of Israel-Palestine conflict, I have several updates for you. Big loss for Hezbollah today. Today was the deadliest day for Hezbollah. How many Hezbollah fighters died today in attacks from Israel-controlled territories? Secondly, more attacks on US military bases in the Middle East, attacks continuing. Thirdly, Rafah border crossing open today, but just a few trucks managed to make it to Gaza. Fourthly, leaflets have been dropped by Israeli planes on Gaza, warning residents of northern Gaza. And lastly, Cairo Summit failed to come up with a joint statement today. And lastly, big protest in support of Palestinians in Barcelona and London today. Firstly, viewers, Israel-Lebanon border tensions rising, both sides using all types of weapons. Now, strikes being conducted, don't strikes as well. Hezbollah firing anti tank guided missiles, artillery strike. Hezbollah already suffered a loss. Six Hezbollah fighters were killed today. This is the biggest loss in one single day suffered by Hezbollah in attacks from Israel controlled territories. Death of six Hezbollah fighters has been confirmed today by Hezbollah incident. So we could say big escalation on the border in coming days because of the death of six Hezbollah members today. Hezbollah attacked an APC and a tank today when it fired guided missiles on a town, Barram town, which is on Israel-Lebanon border. Meanwhile, Israeli defense minister says that Hezbollah could be a problem. It will open a front on Israel in case of ground invasion of Gaza. Israel side is fully prepared in case of any ground attacks on Israel from Lebanese territories. Secondly, viewers, US military bases coming under attacks in different parts of the Middle East, especially in Syria and Iraq. We've seen two bases attacked once again on Saturday. Firstly, Harir military base of US forces in Iraq, in Erbil, Iraq, came under attack today. Islamic movement, Islamic resistance of Iraq issued a statement claiming responsibility for today's attacks on Harir US military base in Erbil, Iraq. Attacks continuing on the other US military base called Al-Assad in Iraq. So, Iran-backed troops are continuing attacks on US military bases, though no big losses, big damages suffered by US personnel, because most of these attacks are rocket attacks or kamikaze drones are fired, which are mostly intercepted in the air. We could not confirm any casualty on US side in these attacks. I think around 10 attacks have been confirmed so far on US military bases in Iraq and Syria in the last 72 hours. No casualty. A few rockets managed to land at targets, but still no casualties on the ground reportedly. Thirdly, viewers, Rafa border crossing, Egypt-Gaza border. After international pressure, Israel agreed to open the border crossing, though Israel is not in control of the border crossing. It is on Gaza-Egypt border. Israel has been conducting strikes on Rafah, close to Rafah. So that is why Egypt wanted permission from Israel to send humanitarian aid to the people of Gaza through Rafah. Antonio Guterres, the US Secretary General, was on the border crossing yesterday. He said that people on the other side of the crossing are waiting for food, water, and here dozens of trucks are waiting for entry into Gaza. He urged Israel to allow the opening of the crossing. Border crossing was open today, but only 20 trucks managed to make it to Gaza. 20 trucks carrying 60 tons of aid entered Gaza today. 930 tons of food aid is still waiting to be delivered to Gaza, waiting in Egypt. So, still we're seeing that border crossing is not being kept open. Israel starts conducting strikes in the vicinity of the border crossing. That is why the speed of delivery of aid to the people of Gaza from Egypt is very slow. Just 20 trucks carrying 60 tons of food aid managed to enter Gaza today. And then reportedly, after that, the border crossing was closed. We'll update tomorrow about the situation on Rafah border crossing. Fourthly, leaflets have been dropped by Israeli Air Force on Gaza, northern Gaza. Israeli Air Force is telling the people of northern Gaza to the north of Wadi Gaza to move towards southern Gaza. Today's leaflets state that those who won't move from northern Gaza will be seen as supporters of terrorists. Strong warning to the people of northern Gaza. But even some convoys which tried to move from northern Gaza to southern Gaza, they were attacked. They came under strikes. People scared. And secondly, can South Gaza accommodate 1 million people of North Gaza? People are still there in North Gaza. Israel threatening them to leave the northern part towards southern part, but so far, northern Gaza is still inhabited by tens of thousands of people. Israel keeping up the pressure, saying it would launch ground invasion of Gaza. So that is why people of North Gaza must move towards South Gaza. Leaflets dropped by Israeli military planes today. Meanwhile, a summit held in Cairo today failed to produce a joint statement. The summit was attended by Arab countries and Western countries, to delegations from US, UK, France, Russia, China too. They took part in the discussion there. And after that, all the sides could not agree on a joint statement. Western countries took a joint position. They refused to condemn Israel's strikes in which civilians are dying. They refused to call for opening of Rafah border crossing. So the two sides could not agree on a joint statement. And Arab countries were surprised that all Western countries took a joint position in support of Israel. World is split, by the way. By world, I mean world leaders are split, not the people. World leaders, Western countries, US leaders, they are supporting Israel. They're visiting Israel. We've seen top leaders arriving in it. Just a few minutes ago, Italian Prime Minister arrived in Israel. Before that, we've seen German Chancellor, US President, and several other top leaders visit Israel. So, and Arab countries, they are announcing their support for Palestinians. They're condemning Israel, but they're not allowed to visit Gaza. The world is split now. Arab world, to some extent, supporting Palestinians, though to the extent of issuing statements only. Western world, US, they are proactively supporting Israel. They're sending weapons with it. No one is allowed to send weapons to Hamas, to PIJ. But US is sending weapons to Israel. Israel is a country, but Hamas, PIJ are seen as terrorist entities. So world is definitely split on this war. Big protest in support of Palestinians today. One was organized in London, second one in Barcelona, in some other parts of the world too. In London, more than 100,000 attended pro-Palestine rally. Free Palestine, free Palestine was chanted there. In Barcelona as well, around 70,000 people participated in today's protests. We've seen, by the way, big protests in Western countries in support of Palestinians, but the leaders are pro-Palestine. They say that they will protect Israel. These countries are not condemning Israeli attacks which are leading to civilian deaths. They are only condemning the attacks by Hamas PIJ. But their people, they are protesting in support of Palestinians. We've seen big protests in London, in some other countries in Europe. Thank you for watching.